Hey Nova Nation, I'm Victoria Newsome, ready to bring you the highlights from across Villanova Athletics. Welcome back to this week's edition of the Wildcat Rewind, presented by Friends of Nova. Villanova Baseball made a solid impression over the weekend, taking 2 of 3 from Winthrop. Jason Neff came up big at the plate in Friday's 10-4 win, with Bobby Olson keeping things steady on the mound. Neff didn't slow down Saturday, smacking 2 home runs and driving in 4 runs to lead the Cats to another 10-3 win. Sunday wasn't as kind with a 17-3 loss, but there were still plenty of bright spots to take away. Neff was absolutely on fire, hitting 6 for 11 with 3 home runs and 7 RBIs, which earned him the Big East Player of the Week honor. On top of that, Olson earned a spot on the Big East Weekly Honor Roll for the second straight week after dominating Friday's matchup with a career-high 8 strikeouts. Then on Tuesday, the Cats rolled past Coppin State 12-2. Jason Neff and Michael Hooley stayed hot, and Neff had 2 hits, 2 RBIs, and 2 stolen bases, while Hooley homered for the 3rd straight game. With Neff and Olson leading the way, the Wildcats are feeling good heading into the next series in Nashville against Lipscomb, starting Friday at 4 p.m. And Jason Neff joins us right now. Thank you so much for coming. Congrats over the weekend. What really clicked for you this weekend? You were locked in. What has been some of the keys to your success such early on?
So I've, a few adjustments over the offseason, particularly in the winter. I stayed here instead of going back home, so I had access to the indoor facility, and I was able to just kind of have a lot of alone time in the cages and, see what works well for me. And I think just a lot of trial and error helped me out do that.
And also, you're one of the team captains. How's it like to lead your team in this time? And also, the season's super early. You have a lot of games to go. How's that feel?
It's great being a captain. This is the first time I'm being a captain on a team, so it's definitely a new leadership kind of position that I'm not used to, but it's been a fun process. I have 3 other great guys that are captains as well, and that's, they've helped me. We've talked a lot, and we kind of have ideas that we want set for how the season, and we're just really excited for how it's going to go.
What's the energy, and what would you describe it as your team right now going into this next set of games?
We're pumped. Last year we had a few midweeks that we probably should have won, and we just had a midweek where we run ruled them, and that's kind of our expectation, and that's setting us up with good momentum to go into the next season or next series weekend.
What is your message to anyone who wants to come out and support Villanova Baseball this season?
Come out. This year's different. I know we had a lot of struggling years in the past, but in my final season, I'm pumped to see how far we can go and make the Big East playoffs.
Amazing. Thank you for your time. Good luck.
Appreciate it.
It was a rocky weekend for Villanova softball in Clemson, with the Wildcats dropping 4 games, including a close 1-0 extra inning loss to number 9 Clemson. Despite the setbacks, the Cats showed plenty of fight and are ready for a fresh start at the Hokie Invite. They look to turn the page, grab some wins, and build momentum in Salem, Virginia. Villanova men's lacrosse fell 16-5 to Colgate on Saturday, with the Raiders going on a 12-goal streak after the Cats opened with 2 of their own. Freshman goalie Dennis Fargione stepped up in the second half with 12 saves, the most of any Nova goalie this season. Tyler Sandoval had a solid day at the X, winning 15 of 19 faceoffs. The Wildcats prep to take on Lehigh at home Friday, February 28th at 4 p.m. In women's lacrosse, the Cats struggled against number 15 Stony Brook, falling 12-5 on Wednesday. But they turned things around Saturday, taking down Bucknell 16-11 in their first road game of the season. Sydney Pappas led the charge with 4 goals, Leslie Iorio added 3, and Sammy Carey was all over the place with 8 points. Emma Verhos was a beast at the draw with 12 controls, helping the team maintain their energy throughout. Cats head west next to take on Stanford and UC Davis. In women's hoops, Villanova took care of business at home, holding off Georgetown 70-65 to complete the season sweep. Freshman Jasmine Bosco was electric, scoring 26 points, including 19 in the first half. The Wildcats built a double-digit lead by halftime, but Georgetown fought back to take a brief fourth-quarter lead before Nova's late 8-0 run sealed the deal. Maddie Weber and Danae Carter delivered in crunch time, while Maddie Burke's clutch corner three helped put the game away. Villanova sits at 10-6 in Big East play and looks to regroup at home on Wednesday against Butler for senior night. In men's hoops, the Banana Crew was back, and the Cats wasted no time setting the tone against number 16 Marquette, catching fire from deep early and never looking back in an 81-66 statement win. Villanova drilled 7 of their first 9 threes, racing out of a double-digit lead in the first 5 minutes and keeping the Golden Eagles at arm's length the rest of the way. Eric Dixon and Jameer Brickus were unstoppable, knocking down shot after shot, while redshirt freshman Jordan Dumont had a breakout performance off the bench with a career-high 15 points on a perfect 4 for 4 from deep. On the defensive end, Villanova held Marquette in check, limiting them to 42% shooting and forcing them into tough looks all night. With their 4th top 25 win at home this season, the Cats hope to close out more games as they prepare to face Seton Hall tonight. Tip-off is set for 8:30 p.m. Villanova men's tennis bounced back from a tough 6-1 loss to Bucknell on Saturday with a dominant 7-0 sweep over Wagner on Sunday at the Bryn Mawr Racquet Club. Against Bucknell, Justin Fratarelli secured the Wildcats' lone point with a singles win, with 2 other matches went to third set tiebreakers. Villanova regrouped the next day, taking the doubles point against Wagner before sweeping all 6 singles matches in straight sets. The Wildcats now turn their focus to a West Coast trip, starting with UC San Diego on Thursday. Thank you so much for watching this week's edition of the Wildcat Rewind presented by Friends of Nova. Make sure to come out and support Villanova Athletics, and as always, go Cats!